Good evening and welcome in to the Mystic Lotus and Dragonflies Awesome Choose Love Summit. Our expert today is someone who, till a few years back, was going through self doubt, was not happy, felt a lot of resentment towards people for making her do things she didn't really want to do, whether it was at home or at work, thought that she could either have a career or a family life, that long hours were a given to be successful, and that everything came at a cost. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? So many of us have been through this and are maybe still going through it, probably still going through it, most likely still going through it. She changed it all for herself, beginning with taking responsibility for her life, for her happiness. And today, she is an international happiness coach and somatic integration therapist, has been recognized as a global happiness leader at the World Congress 2020, and has also won an award for innovation in happiness. Yes, it exists. An Innovation in Happiness Award. It exists. And she won it at the Women Entrepreneurs Enclave in 2019. Her speciality, her specialization is in helping people heal from the core, emotionally and physically, simplifying happiness and inner peace and self-love and creating ways to practice it daily. You must be wondering, actually, I'm also wondering, is it that simple? Is it possible to simplify happiness and inner peace and self-love? I'm the person who, for the longest time, had that DP with the meerkat, which said, inner peace, bring it on. So is it that simple? Time to find out then. Yes. Give me your yeses. Give me your yeses on the group. Even a single yes will do. I'm waiting for a yes, or give me a nod right here on the call itself. And I'm getting the nods in. Thank you very much. And I'm getting the yes in as well. The magic was always a yes or a thumbs up or a nod. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for and join me in giving a warm Mystic Lotus welcome to the lady who integrates various healing modalities in her work, including inner child, shadow work, and access consciousness. The very lovely, making her debut with us, Janki Ravani. Hi, Janki. Welcome in.
Hi, Neelu. Thank you so much for having me and a very warm welcome to everyone here. Thank you so much for joining. As Neelu rightly said, I'm debuting here. I'm so excited to have a conversation, sharing my journey and hoping to inspire each one of you to stop waiting to be the chosen one and move to be the choosing one where you choose yourself first.
Nice. And we are going to come back to that. Be the choosing one
Be the
rather
choosing
than
one.
waiting to be the chosen one. We will come to that. Janki, of course, you're here for the first time. We all want to know hear about your journey, what brought you here, how has it been so far for you? But more than that, or rather, in addition to that, my curiosity level is slightly higher on the fact that we're on the Choose Love Summit, and then you decided to pop in and throw this conversational topic out on the strangest self-love secret, what you want way more than love.
Yeah.
So, what is that all about? Throwing the floor
Okay,
open to you.
let me tell you, and thank you for putting that. So before we jump into this, let me ask everyone a question, right? Have you all gone to like a fashion street or a Sarojini market, any street market? Have you gone there? Just like
Yes,
yes or no, right?
absolutely.
Correct. And on an average, if you had to buy, let's say, a handbag out there, how much would it roughly cost? 200, 300, 500,000 at max. Okay. And there also you'll go and bargain, right? I mean, that's like Huck say, we have to
Right.
bargain at the street market.
Yeah.
And have you gone to a mall? right? Mall is all fixed price. And if you had to buy a handbag there, how much would you roughly pay?
I'd still look
Maybe,
for the one selling it for 500.
yeah, like 1,000, 1,500 to
Right,
3,000, right? And if it's really expensive, 5, 6,000.
right.
All right. And imagine you had to go into a Burberry or a Louis Vuitton showroom. Okay. And a very similar looking handbag, but suddenly a few extra zeros have been added, and suddenly this bag costs 2-3 lakh rupees, right? So tell me, a very similar bag in all functionality, in look and feel, yeah, maybe slightly better quality, but who decides how somebody can charge 200 rupees or 2,000 rupees and how somebody can charge 2 lakhs for the same thing? Who decides that?
I'm going to wait for people to respond to that because
And yes, let's keep this an interactive chat so we can have
absolutely,
more fun.
yeah, people do put this in into the group because I do have an answer, and I mean I do have an answer that I'm very happy to express. However, want your opinion out there first. So there were yeses that came in when we were beginning the call. Thank you for that. And the Anjali says, so indirectly, it is the people who are ready to pay for it. Very interesting answer, Anjali. By the way, I have to tell you this,
The
right?
people who are willing to pay for it, absolutely. But
Right.
who, like when I'm the seller of the bag, right? And there are three sellers, A, B, and C, the street one, the mall, and the high end brand. How do they decide this is the price? Whether I'll charge 200, 2,000, 2 lakhs, how do they decide?
Yeah. So Archana says the company and the customers both. And actually, my answer was that it's the seller. It is the seller who's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
decide the value of
yeah.
his product, and it is absolutely his right to do so.
And it is you, and that's absolutely true because it is the seller who decides, I want to charge this much. My product is worth this much. I don't care whether you have the money or not. This is what I'm worth. This is what I put myself. That's the price tag I put on myself. This is what I'm comfortable with. Now, notice when you go to the street, because they devalue themselves or because they want to be at that price point, we'll go and bargain. Even for a 200 rupees bag, we'll say, no, 180 rupees, right? But when you go into a high end showroom, bargain, no ways, because they've said this is a fixed price shop. We're not bargaining. If you can't afford me, go away, right? We're okay to have the customers who can afford us. And this I realized was really strange because when it comes to self love, okay, we're all hoping, hoping and praying that somebody will see our worth. Somebody will see how amazing I am, how beautiful I am, how much I do for the family, how beautiful I look, how loving I am. I want somebody to see me, notice me, in the hope that when they validate my worth, I become worthy. Because by myself, though, I put myself in the street market category, no. But if they love me, suddenly I'll feel more worthy. I'll feel like good about myself. And that's why I realized that, you know what? Wait, self love can wait, but worthiness, right? And it is something only you can decide. And why do I say this is even more important? Because I personally found a lot of people all through life who loved me. A lot of people. Okay. From my parents to boyfriends in early life to, now my husband, my children, my clients. But for the longest time, when somebody would say, you're looking beautiful, you are lovely, I love you, I'd always be like, yeah, what do you want from me? Okay. There was always this like, they can't really love me. What is there to love? Right. So I would keep dismissing and not receiving the love because I didn't think I was worthy. And that's where I realized. So you all have your pens with you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a paper and make this. Can you see this tag? Is it ulta?
No,
It says
it's
worthy.
fine. It shows nicely
It
with a
says
smile.
worthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's one that says unworthy. Right? Now, if you had to put a price tag on yourself, would you put unworthy? Would you put worthy? What would you put?
Right. In fact, whoever's here on video, if you have a pen and paper, write the two words, put it in your forehead, tell us how you feel.
And this is what we need to do just every single morning. Every single morning when you wake up. And which is why I say it just takes 5 seconds to self love, to happiness. It's not difficult. Every morning you make a decision. I'm going to be worthy. I decide my worth, and today I feel like $1,000,000.
Right.
Right? And every morning, if you had to just stamp, and sometimes when I go to colleges and I do a lot of workshops with students, I actually make them take a stamp like this and go like, okay, I'm worthy. So let's do this. Make your right hand worthy and your left hand unworthy. Okay. Now, which one are you choosing to stamp yourself with?
Well,
Right hand.
the
Okay.
rights.
And just stamp yourself with I'm worthy. Like, right? And every time you feel unworthy, you feel low about yourself, you question like, am I really worth it? Do they really love me, or are they just being nice to me? Am I really worth their love? Are they just faking the compliments? Just remind yourself, stop. Of course I'm worthy, right? And remember, you are a high-end brand, and you are absolutely worth $1,000,000 and totally worthy of love. So that is the first lesson I want you all to take away. Nobody but you decides your worth. And here's the thing, right? The only time you devalue yourself is when you don't know who you are. It's when you can't see your own magnificence, your own brilliance. It's when you're actually like a 1,000-room castle, right? Huge, beautiful, brilliant, like 100 times bigger than the Taj Mahal, in its beauty. And then suddenly, because you've been cutting away parts of you that are not acceptable to other people, someone says, you're too loud, don't smile so much. Why are you wearing such a short dress? Why do you talk this? Why do you? And then you start cutting yourself, cutting yourself, cutting yourself till you think, I'm a 2 BHK in need of repairs, right? So if you could just see your own truth, and I always say this, the truth will set you free. If you can just get present to yourself, see yourself, see how beautiful you are, see how perfect you are, and then check, do I feel worthy? Of course, you will feel worthy because that's what you are. You are absolutely brilliant. So, that is one thing I would like you to do every morning when you wake up. Just make the decision. You know what? Today, I am worthy.
Nice, nicely done. I really enjoyed listening to the evaluation of a bag and the self-evaluation bit, bringing it down to the worthy and the unworthy. I do have a question here, Janki, before you continue. You know, look, it's very obvious that in a conversation like this, nobody's going to say, yeah, I'm going to put unworthy on my forehead. But the fact remains, whether we want to admit it or not, okay, we are living with that sense of lack of self-worth within us. Whether they want to call it, we right now we're all very happy and charged up. Yes, yes, I am worthy. We've stamped our forehead. But there is a reality check to be looked at here. I'm going to say this. I'm not expecting anybody else. I'm going to say there are days when I don't I feel like an app. I feel like shit on very many days, and I promise you this, Janki, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. There is no sense of worth on that day, right? So, like I said, I know you're going to be saying and sharing a lot more things, but I wanted to bring this in that
Yeah, yeah.
doing something because
So,
this is what
so
you
let
show
me,
yourself
yeah. So let me
as yeah,
share,
yeah,
let me
as a
share,
coach
and
what's
thank
going
you for
on.
bringing this up. This is so relevant because I always say this, right? It's not that we don't know what to do. We all know we should feel worthy, but how to actually practice it on those days where we're feeling shit. Just putting this, writing this and stamping myself as worthy is not going to work on those days, right? So on those days, here's what you remember, right? So imagine you had a best friend who was feeling unworthy, right? She's down in the dumps. She's feeling shit about herself. She thinks, I can't do anything right. I'm a failure. You know, uh, everything about me is wrong. In that moment, what is it that you would tell your friend?
Well, obviously, you would look to uplifting her spirits and in support and give say the words that she really really needs to hear, not just for the sake of saying it, but because that person is that person as well.
Because you really mean it when you tell
Yeah,
her that,
right,
right? So
right.
you would remind her how awesome she is, how far she's come, the things that she does right, the things that are so beautiful and amazing about her. And you'll remind her, today is just one bad day. You are not screwed up. Just today is an off day, right? And that is where you come in with self love, because on those days where you feel absolutely shit, you have to remember, A, I am feeling shit. I am not shit. I am feeling shit. And B, hold space for yourself like you would hold for your best friend, which is where you actually say, and this is, and I practice it myself, right? So on the days that I'm feeling really, and I'm a moody person, so I have my ups and downs. I'm not like all go-getter and consistent, and I'm somebody who needs one brilliant day and then 1 week off, where I'm just like down. And I realize on those off days, it's very difficult for me to see my worth. It's very difficult for me to feel, like an international, awesome, award winning happiness coach. But on those days, I actually sit with myself. And sometimes I do it in front of the mirror and I say, hey, Janki, it's okay. I know you're feeling shit today. I know you're feeling unworthy. I know you don't feel like on top of the world. But hey, you know what? I just want you to know, take your time off. It's okay to feel this way sometimes. I'm here to remind you that you are still worthy even when you're feeling shit. I'm here to tell you that it's okay to take your time to get back into being your brilliant self. Take a day, take an hour, how many ever hours you need, it's fine. So, with the minute I give myself the permission to be down, I feel like half the pressure is off, right? And this is what I always tell my clients, right? One of the meanest things we do to ourselves every single day is invalidate our own feelings, right? So it's like I'm feeling shit. Then I'm trying to fight myself from feeling shit, right? So I'm trying to say, no, no, I should not feel this way about myself. I should always feel happy and good because I'm a happiness coach or something like that. And then I'm getting angry because I can't stop myself from feeling what I'm feeling. And then I'm getting frustrated that I can't control my mind. And then there's more anger and more resentment and more. And that whole little tower, which was just a shit day, suddenly has become like this, Great Wall of China in my world, blocking me from seeing anything good about myself. So I say, validate your feelings, right? It's one of the best ways to express self love every day. If you're feeling shit, okay, I know today you're feeling shit. It's all right. Don't worry. Take your time. I'm here. It's all right. So the minute I give myself the permission to feel shit, sometimes like when I'm working, I find it like I don't want to do this. This is just too much. And I will look at myself in the mirror and I'll say, it's okay. You don't have to do it. It's fine. You can quit. The minute I say that, I feel relieved, like, okay, there's no pressure here. And then I'm like, actually, I want to do it. It's just right now I'm a little frustrated about it, right? But if in that moment I had to go and say, no, this is your life purpose and you have to do this, how can you quit? And I don't want to be a critical parent to myself. I've done that all my life. Like I've heard that all my life. I just want somebody to be nurturing, somebody to kind and say, hey, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay for you to take some time off. And in fact, I have a friend here, a client also, Asha. Is it okay for me to have her share her experience with this?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Oh, in fact, just before the call started, I was complimenting Asha on the
Yeah.
beautiful curtain as well.
Yes. So,
I did not realize it's the same Asha. Hi, Asha.
yes.
I've sent you a request to unmute.
Hi, hi. Good
Hi.
evening. Good
Asha,
evening.
would you like to share your experience with?
Yeah, definitely. I would put my experience like this, my life before meeting Janki and life after attending Janki sessions. I was a kind of a person who used to get angry, irritated, hurt, sad when things not going my way. I used to constantly push my teenage daughter without realizing that I'm after her, I'm irritating her. And I used to have very low self-esteem, doubting my capabilities. And I used to feel low, like it was shared here right now. But once I started my sessions with Janki, I allowed myself to be kind to me. And I started self-forgiveness. In fact, forgiving others is easy. In my experience, forgiving myself is forgiving yourself is extremely difficult.
Right.
The easy to use tools shared by Janki, I started dropping down my barriers. I, with that forgiving me part, I allowed myself to be weak, vulnerable. And I could make out that it is all within me. It's all within my mind. A small shift there in my narratives. It started helping me handling things better. And my family and friends also started noticing that shifting me, and everything around me started changing. I started attracting loving people into my life, and my existing relationships also improved. In fact, Janki had so much impact in my life that so many of my friends and relatives started joining her program. And definitely, I'm a new person. The journey was so beautiful. And I definitely look forward to more and more tools from her, easy to use ones. And I allow myself to sulk on days when I'm low. That is my favorite tool, to be frank. I allow myself just to flow on days when I'm not feeling good. I feel all my feelings, I started expressing it in a beautiful way, rather. Sadness, anger, frustration, whatever. I feel really good practicing all the tools. Thank you so much, Janki.
Thank you, Asha. And this is what I say. It's not, loving yourself, happiness, it's not difficult. It's just that we don't know how, right? It's not that we don't know what to do. We just don't know how, and we don't know it's so simple, which is why we think, we have to wait and we have to wait because, and this is what I was saying, that, you can either wait to be the chosen one, where somebody hopefully will come and see your worth and say, wow, you're amazing. I'm going to love you and give you all that you need, the love, appreciation, respect. Or you can say, wait a minute, I'm going to be the choosing one here. I'm going to be the one who's going to give me everything I need. And when you take that up, the universe will show you the way, the easiest possible way. And ta-da, it's so easy then.
Right. In fact, so Janki, correct me if I'm here. When you say that one thing you didn't know that you needed more than love, is it this choice that you're referring to?
Yes, it is that I'm the one that decides my worth. And if I think I'm worthy, love will come from everywhere. I will find the people who find me worthy of giving love once I give myself love. Because the truth of the matter is, your relationships are a reflection of you. How people treat you is a reflection of how you treat yourself from within. So if you think you are unworthy, if you think you are wrong, if you think you've done such horrible things that you need to be punished, you need people to be hard on you, that's what you will attract. But if you are kind with yourself, the unkind people will fall away. They won't be able to survive in your aura. You will repel them naturally. And the more you love yourself, the people who are also kind and loving, you will keep attracting them. And I have this lovely experience which I had. I used to always feel guilty, so my default emotion in life was guilt. And I would always, if I would get late from work, I would be so like worried, like, oh my god, my mother-in-law is going to be like, why are you so late? And all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, if my relationship and interactions that I'm having are a reflection of how I see myself, is it possible that if I change how I feel about this guilt, will my mother-in-law also stop giving me grief? So I actually worked on myself. I did like a self session and introspection analysis, how I usually do for clients. And I forgave myself and I said, wait a minute, of course, you're doing good work, you're helping people. So what if you come a few minutes late? It's fine. That only shifted in my mind. About a week, 10 days later, I started noticing when I would come home late, my mother-in-law would say, hey, you must be tired. You've had a long day. Come, chai is ready, dinner's ready. You don't have to do anything. Which earlier used to be, oh my God, you're late. Now who's going to cook? You're late. See, the children are waiting. And because I changed my inner narrative, and because our reality is a projection of our inner world, the way she started talking to me changes. So I'm like, if you can change your mother-in-law, everything is possible. So that's
Right. And yes, I know, a lot of women do go through this, but I'm also putting a very big disclaimer out there. Not all are like that. Okay, it happens. You got to learn how to figure it out, but let's also not generalize
so
and put
yeah. So
all poor
I would
mother-in-laws into the
say
same category.
I will say that yes. So while of course
Yeah,
results are always varying,
right.
but believe me, the toughest nuts to crack will crack the minute you work on yourself and crack it internally. The outside is a piece of cake.
Right. And in fact, you gave your own example right there, Janki. And Parul had written in saying, how can we manage a family member who constantly puts pressure on us to make us feel unworthy, either with words or actions? So, Parul, I hope you're also listening, because sometimes what happens, right, Janki, is that we're so focused on wanting to hear an answer that we want to hear. You what's the saying? You forget the forest for the
You're
trees, or the
you're
trees.
waiting to respond and not
Yeah,
listening actually.
right. So you just want that one thing, and you miss out on the other factors. So in addition to that, what is it that you would like to say to Parul right now?
Yeah. So what she said is there's a family member that is constantly making her feel unworthy and pressurizing her, right? Is that right?
Yeah, like what do you do?
Yeah.
How do you deal with
Yeah.
any family or family member who's
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
this, either with
So,
words or
so
with
there
action?
is, yeah, thank you. So, Parul, thank you for asking that question. And, I love it when people ask questions. There are two parts to this, right? One is the internal work and one is the external. Now, on the external, remember, apply this rule. Don't take it personally, right? When somebody is constantly undervaluing you or making you feel unworthy, it's a reflection of how they feel within themselves. And they try to make you feel undervalued so they can feel better about themselves. So, firstly, when someone treats you badly, it's a reflection of their internal world, not so much you. But as I said, that's the external. So, whenever somebody is treating me like that, I always remind myself, Janki, this has got nothing to do with you. This is about them. Don't take it personally. Just breathe, move away, right?
Right.
But that's one part. Now, the internal part is you really have to check within yourself if this person is constantly making you feel unworthy. Why? That's a reflection of you as well. So why are you thinking I'm unworthy? Now this, let me tell you, because of all the years of experience I have working with clients, it's usually because we've grown up around critical parents. And again, I love my parents. Our parents are victims of their parents, who are victims of their parents, who are victims of their parents. So it's kind of a generational thing that passes through, where we've all learned to be very, very critical in their need to make us more perfect. I think that when they're being critical, they're trying to protect us, but they keep correcting us so much that all we then get used to hearing in our heads is all the corrections, reminding us of all the flaws. So if all I've done is being reminded of my flaws every day, obviously my self-worth is, like a postage stamp size. So all you need to do is start constantly focusing on what's right about me. Now, here's a 5-second tool you can use, right? What's right about me? Every morning, get up and write 3 things that are right about you. Now, when I say right, we're always asking the question, right? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why can't I get this right? Why can't I get that right? Now, here's the universal rule: ask and you shall receive. So if you ask what's wrong with me, you will get 10 people who will tell you exactly what's wrong with you. But if you ask, hey, what's right about me, universe, show me, you will find 10 people who will come and say, hey, you know what? You're looking beautiful. Hey, I love how you do this. Hey, you do this really well. Oh, I love what you're wearing. They'll come and tell you things that are right about you. So if you want to start working on your self-worth, one of the ways is to, as I say always, the truth will set you free. Start seeing your own truth apart from. So one of the exercises I do with my clients is recognize the critical voice. Who does it belong to? Does it belong to your mother? Does it belong to your father, a teacher, an aunt, a grandmother? And when you recognize the voice, say, cool, this is not my voice. This is not, I was not, let's say, lazy. I was told I'm lazy and I was made to realize that being lazy is wrong. Cool, I'm leaving that conditioning behind and focusing on what's right about being lazy. And again, here, this is a personal story. I was always pulled up for being super, super lazy. But in my world, I was like, why would I do Gadha Majuri when there is a simpler way? But they were like, no, without hard work, you can't get anywhere and life is difficult. You have to put it. And it was always a conflict because I wanted to find a simple solution. They always said put in hard work. And that conflicting voice in my head was always so annoying. And then slowly, when I grew up, and not so long ago, just 5 years ago in my mid 30s, I actually sat down and said, wait, what's the gift of being lazy? What's right about me being lazy? And when I did the inner work, I realized, you know what? Because I'm so lazy, I look at 5-second tools that are very easy to use. I'm not saying, meditate for 1 hour or do journaling for 30 minutes or do this. All that is great if you like it. But if you're someone like me who wants to put in this much effort and get this much result, I'm like, I want to find things that work in 5 seconds, right? Which is why I'm constantly, and then I could turn my laziness into my biggest strength, which was my biggest weakness, because I was willing to go beyond the judgments and really see what's right about me. So if you're feeling unworthy, and there are things about us we can't change, it's like our stripes, right? Our flaws are like our stripes and spots. A tiger, a zebra, or a cheetah can't change them. So if you had to just say, cool, this is what I am, I'm not a morning person, or I am lazy, or I don't know how to do, see numbers, like I'm very bad at numbers, but I'm good with people. So let me focus on what can I do with people instead of trying to get better at numbers. So I always say, function from your strengths, maximize your strengths, stop trying to fix your weaknesses. If God wanted you to be a number person, he would have made you good at numbers, but he's not. Focus on what you are. That's why I say, see your truth. The truth will set you free. If you learn to accept your truth, you will always be free. If you're trying to hide your truth, cover your truth, think it's embarrassing, oh my God, it's shameful, how can I do this? You will always be putting in so much energy to, wear your masks and put up barriers so nobody will find you. And then you're always living in fear.
Right.
But, strip, go naked, like, hey, I'm bad at numbers, I suck at it. Now
Right.
what? Aage badho. Then people cannot hold you and pull you down for it or make you feel unworthy for it, because you're willing to see your own worth. And of course, I mean, if it's very serious, I do recommend, one-to-one sessions where you very gently and slowly start building the capacity. It's actually a muscle, like, it's a muscle you build, seeing your own worth, being kind to yourself, talking lovingly to yourself, negating the inner critic and becoming a nurturing parent in your own head. These are things that come with practice. So it's not overnight, but yes, these are some of the things you can start with.
Right. And of course, this is something that you are going to experience here, because people, Janki, see your truth. The truth will set you free. Hold your space. Again, very big asks, for anybody who's started their journey, it's been some time, it's easier to look at this and still feel resistance because you're not there yet. And for somebody who's just beginning, to just, to just say, uh, hold your space. I'm sorry, what? I don't know. I don't know how to hold my finger right
No,
now. You want me to
but
do
that is where you
yeah.
know what
So hang on,
that
hang
is
on, hang on.
okay.
So what happens? What's going to happen, people, is that Janki is going to take us through an experience of this as well. Okay, so it's not just words being thrown out right now. You will go through a small glimpse of what it is that actually doing this work fully with somebody like Janki will take you to. Second thing, Ritika wrote in, what if people are misunderstanding your self-worth and walking away from a negative situation is seen as an attitude or carelessness? She's put this question in. Parul had the question earlier. You've given your own example. Both both situations is where somebody else has been horrible to you. Tell me, Janki, who is the person who had come to you who was attracting really horrible relationships? She was having one boyfriend after the other, one boyfriend after the other, bad relationships.
Yes.
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 Do you want to tell us
Is
about her?
Jessica? I don't think she's here, but yeah, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And this was one of my most yeah, I love all my clients, but this was really special because this brilliant girl, right? She's tall, fair, beautiful, like 5'8", very athletic build, gorgeous looking. And then she keeps coming to me saying, this marriage failed, this toxic relationship, and this toxic relationship in a matter of 2-3 years, right? And finally, when, one of the days I said, you know what? Wait, let's break this pattern. Let's, why are you constantly attracting these people who are, taking advantage of you, ill treating you, misusing, your funds and, walking away very carelessly with it? And what happened in that was that as a child, she had had a very difficult childhood. very, very, she grew up away from home. The people who she was around didn't treat her right. So she always thought that, my parents abandoned me. So I must be not worth it. The people I'm living with don't really give me love and respect. So I must be not worth it. And her self esteem and her self worthiness was so low that if any guy told her, showed interest, she thought, oh my God, okay, there's somebody who loves me here. It's okay. Let me just say yes. I don't have to use my brains, and clearly logic will not work because there is finally someone here who is seeing me as remotely worthy and worthy of love. It's enough. Now she would jump into it, and then, of course, she would be miserable, but she would not be the one breaking it because she would feel, but what if I don't get someone else again? So she would actually stay in that toxic relationship until, they would finally dump her. And finally, when she worked on herself, she called me a couple months later saying she's attracted a really nice man. In fact, she got married a few months ago, a very fairy tale wedding. And now that I see her pictures all over, social media, I realize she's found a secure, worthy partner who really compliments her in every single way and is very nurturing towards her.
Nice.
So I think we also have
Yeah,
another
Ravi is also
client
here.
here
Yeah, Ravi is
who,
here. I
now,
think
yeah, Ravi, and there's, is Kruti here?
we'll look for her because I can see Ravi right here.
Ravi is here. Yeah.
And this, especially because the queries that are coming up, even Ritu is written in saying that if we do self-love, people might consider that we are proud, or there's pride and ego. So how do you do this? Firstly, Ritu and everybody, we just about heard about this lovely young girl who's going through such a bad time for whatever reasons, and is now in a happy, secure, nurturing relationship. All that has happened with work done with Janki, and you're also going to experience it. And why? And because I can see Ravi right here, and I know Ravi has a very interesting, again, self story and family story to share. So everybody, Janki, let's get everybody to hear Ravi, because
Yes,
all of
absolutely.
us are family people at the end of the day. The external world can keep happening, but it all starts here, right? So let's get Ravi on. Like I said, I can see him right here. Ravi,
Hi,
I'll send you
Ravi.
a request. You want to tell us a little something about Ravi before
He's
Ravi
here. He's unmuted.
introduces?
I'll let him share.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi, Ravi.
yeah, my name is Ravi. Now, I have been working with Janki since 2020.
Ravi, I'm so sorry. Can you be a little louder? Little louder.
Can you hear me now?
Little. Yeah, it's a little clearer, but yeah.
Actually, I have an external camera, so if I come forward, then my image will not be proper. But then let me see how I can set. Okay, I think now I'm clear.
Right. Do you want to just take a step back and let's see how clearly we can hear you?
Yeah.
Is that clear enough?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I have been with Janki since 2021, and self-love was the first session I did with her. And what happened is, before that session, I was totally low on energy, low on self-confidence, always invalidating myself. Any moment I'm getting irritated. Even someone saying hello, I said, okay, what's the new thing? Because for me, I was completely isolated from my family. Even my sisters, they used to call me once in 6 months. My sisters, they stay in Dubai. I am in India. So I'm just wondering, kya chahiye? Why are they calling me now? And most of the time I was having this negative mental chatter coming. Something was going in my mind constantly. So that is how so I got in touch with Janki. And from that things started working. Like it was like a magic for me. That irritation got off. Of course, it took me some month and a half, but that got off. Energy was very high, and the best part of it was my sleep patterns, they improved immensely. And that changed a lot for me. Productivity was at the peak. And now I was surrounded by my family members. It so happened, I'll give an example of in 2021 on a New Year's Eve, 17 people from my family, they called me to invite me for dinner on the New Year's Eve.
Ah, nice.
And that was like one day before Janki was about to start a relationship course on that. And I just told her, this has happened. So all she had to say, go and enjoy. I'll tell you what you have done later.
Right.
And as of today, when we talk, today I am a certified NLP coach.
Nice.
So my life
Nice.
was a 360 degrees turn.
Right.
Today,
Sorry.
today it is like, if someone, how they approach me, I just make it a point. I send a message very clear. You treat me the way I want. If that's the case, fine. I'm fine with what I am and who I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Very nice.
And I would like to add one thing here. While all these people are here to share their stories, let me tell you, I take 10% credit. I give them the tools, I give them the insights, but it is only because they put in the work, right? Do they see these shifts in their life? And how much time? I promise you, none of them put in more than 5 or 10 minutes a day, right? I that's the tools. I give you 5 seconds tools and I tell you 5 minutes of your day, I want you to do certain things. It's easy. It's that easy once you actually get the hang of it. Once you have the insights and the tools, it's easy. So these are the results which, I've got hundreds and thousands of clients who have gone through things, students to 80-year-olds. The crux of the matter is, as long as you're willing to say, hey, you know what, this stops here. I'm going to be the choosing one. I'm not going to wait to be the chosen one anymore. I choose to change my life. I'll do the work that's required. There, you're on the right track. Then whether it takes a month or a year, you will eventually reach there.
Nice, nice, very nice. And I just want to thank Ravi again for coming on and sharing, even Asha, because Janki, like I said, like I mentioned in the beginning, these words, they are very good positive emotions, but they're a very big thing. It's not the easiest thing to get into and to take action on. And on that note, Janki, I think it's time for people to experience what Asha and Ravi have been talking about, what you've been talking about, because, okay, all right, heard it, 5 seconds. And we will come to the 5 second thing also. It'll happen on the call. You will get to experience that as well. Before that, Janki, what is it that we can do right now to get one glimpse of what these two beautiful people have been through?
Awesome. So I would love to take you all through a self-forgiveness meditation. Okay. Because the reason we can't see our worth is because we're constantly angry and feeling I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, right? So before we begin, can everyone just put on chat, what is that one thing you dislike about yourself, or you downright hate about yourself, or you think if just this was not there, I would be a more worthy or a better person, or somebody worth loving. If I could fix this one thing, what is that one thing you hate about you?
Okay, before everybody puts that down in the chat, Janki, quick question for you. Do you want people to write that down right now, or do you want them to keep it in their head, go through this experience with you, and then come back and say what it was, what you were feeling before, and now what you're feeling? What do you say, Janki?
That's a good idea. We can do that. So they can put the before and after later in the comments together, which makes sense.
Let's do that. Let's do that. And so somebody's already written in something about laziness, but hold your thought in your head. All right. Yeah. And Janki is just going to take us through this. If there are any instructions, Janki, please let us know. And very quickly, Janki, I just want to add here, there's been a lot of talk about being lazy. You also said I am lazy, and I found a way to do. I'm also like that. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. And you can call me whatever you want to call me. I really don't care. But I remember reading this, and I don't remember whose quote it is. Shilpa, if you'll help me, because she's super fast at this. It is somebody's quote, okay? Either Bill Gates or the Amazon guy or whoever, who said that given a choice, I will hire lazy people because they're the ones who will find the fastest way to do the work.
Yes.
So I don't know whose quote it is, but I remember when I came across this, I was like, where were you half my life? Where was this quote half my life?
Absolutely.
Janki, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Bill Gates.
Absolutely.
It is Bill Gates. So okay, my first guess was, my first recall was correct. Okay, thanks, Ritu. Yeah.
Super, super. So good. So if everyone, okay, so here I'm going to take you through a meditation which requires you to close your eyes and sit comfortably. So obviously, if you're driving or something, do not do that. If you can just get 10 minutes into a quiet space, your comfortable place, your happy place, where I can guide you through a meditation and see that you won't be disturbed. Take a sip of water if you need to and sit comfortably, and we'll get started in a few seconds.
And safe for pregnant women, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's safe for everyone, especially pregnant women, because they'll be giving that forgiveness also to their babies. They're programming them to be kind to themselves.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. So everyone, close your eyes. Take a deep breath and get present to your body. Put one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, and get really present to your physical body. Your beautiful body that supports you no matter what you do. It's always there for you, whether you eat right, sleep right, whether you treat it right or not, whether you exercise or not, your body is always supporting you. So take a moment to get present to every part of your body. From the top of your head to your cheeks, your ears, your chin. Let your attention flow downwards, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, going all the way down your back, your stomach area. Feel all the internal organs out there, from your heart, lungs, kidneys, liver. Allow yourself to just get present to your body, going down, lower, towards your hips, your glutes, your thighs, your knees. And as you get present to your body, firstly say thank you to your body. Thank you for always supporting me. And say, I'm sorry for judging you so much, for not treating you right. I'm sorry, I always complain that something about you is not good enough. But as I get present to how much you do for me every day, without asking for anything, without complaining, I would like to say, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Take a deep breath. And look at that one thing about you that you hate so much. The one thing you think is just absolutely wrong or messed up about you. The one thing you judge yourself for over and over and over. I would like you to give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. If 10 was absolutely horrible, the worst rating ever, and if 0 is obviously you're not at all troubled by that thing, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it that you feel about this thing about you? Now keep that number in mind. And imagine that a younger you is sitting in front of you, a younger you who is that quality. Maybe lazy, maybe aggressive, maybe angry. Allow yourself to just see this younger version of you who is this quality that you hate so much, that you wish would just go away. And as you look at that, for a moment, put all your judgments aside and allow yourself to get present to this person, the younger you. Get present to their world, their thoughts, their mindset, their challenges. Get present to their feelings, their life, their emotions, their experiences. And go sit next to this younger you. And as you sit, imagine having a conversation and ask them, hey, why are you like this? Why are you like this? I would love to understand. I'm curious. In the absence of my voice for the next few moments, I would like you to listen without judgment, with a heart full of compassion. Listen to what the younger you has to say. And as you listen, also check, when did I start hating this about you? Considering you were always like this, but as a child, you never had a problem with it. At what point did someone make you wrong for it? Did someone tell you, this is not good, this is not acceptable, you need to change? Who was that person who told you? When did they first tell you? When did you start feeling wrong about being this way? Take a moment to understand from your younger self again. And as you recognize the voice, the moment, or the person, when you started recognizing or being conditioned to believe that this is wrong about you, this is what needs to change, I would like you to look at your younger self straight in the eyes. Sit in front of them, look at them, and say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for judging you so much. I'm so sorry for constantly making you wrong for being this way. I know this is who you are and you can't really change, because if you could, you would have done it. But if this is who you are, this is who you were made to be, this is who you were designed to be as the perfect you, I'm sorry for constantly wishing that you could be different. I want you to know that no matter how you are, no matter how you show up, I am going to love and accept you. I'm going to be there with you. I've got your back. It's okay if the world still judges us. It's okay if everybody thinks this is wrong about you. I want you to know I don't see this as wrong. I want you to know that this is a gift. And if we just stop making ourselves wrong for it, you and I, we'll be able to make something beautiful out of being this way. And take a moment now to ask your younger self, what's the gift of being this way? What's right about being this way? How does this actually work for me? How does this serve me? Could you help me see? Again, with a lot of curiosity and excitement, like you're opening up a wrapped gift. Get to that crux. And as you do, you may get an answer. You may understand what's right about you being this way. Maybe if it's the angry you, it's just trying to stop any injustice happening. Maybe if it's a very timid you, it just wants to be heard or hold space for others, quietly, gently being there. Maybe if it's an aggressive you, it has that much energy and power to make things happen. Each aspect of you that you hate is actually a gift waiting to be opened. Whether you got the answer or not in these few moments, remember, if you've asked the question, the answer will come up. Sooner or later, you will see the gift if you've asked the right question. Coming back to your younger self, tell your younger self, I would just want you to know, I love you. I accept you. I want you to forgive me for not holding space for you in the past, not sitting and listening to you, not trying to understand you, for making you wrong. But now, anytime that you're feeling anything, I'm going to validate your feelings. I'm going to allow you to be and feel what you're feeling. I'm going to sit with you for as long as it takes till you feel better, just as a best friend would. I will hold space for you the way I hold for my loved ones. And with that, give your younger self a hug. Hold them tightly. Make them feel safe, cared for, loved. Make them feel that you are completely present to them, 100% in front of them, with them, accepting them, loving them. And as you hold the younger you, as you feel them feeling safe, visualize them melting in your arms and merging into you, knowing that they are safe with you, knowing that now that you have accepted them, this lost fragment of you has come back like a missing piece of the puzzle that gets found. It has come back to make you a little more whole and complete. Very gently, with a smile, you can open your eyes and come back. Take a few minutes to allow it to sink in what you've just done. And now think, just like you gave it a rating before, what is it, or how much do you feel annoyed at it right now? Has it reduced? Is it still the same? Has it completely gone away? How do you feel about that part of you right now?
And thank you for that, Janki. It was beautiful, and I think everybody would need a few minutes to settle down and to gauge from within. And this is just a request to everybody. If you're comfortable, do share what it is that came up for you, where you were at and where you're at now. Instead, to whatever extent you're comfortable sharing. And while we wait for people to write in, Janki, I wanted to ask you that, of course, we've heard from Asha and Ravi, and you've had very, very, very many success cases. Clients who've come into you with all kinds of situations, be it the lady who had a bad marriage and a very nasty divorce and is very toxic, be it that person, or be it the other lady who was, holding a lot of resentment within herself. I'm not referring to Asha here. She's already come in and spoken. Or whether it be the other one who I think was in a very stagnant marriage and was going about life very mechanically. You've helped them all come out of it. A lot of them are at 100% success rate. Some of them are at the 80% because the work is still going on. The question I wanted to ask Janki is that something must be causing it, right? So is there like a trigger point for it?
Trigger point for
whatever they're going through and stagnating at that point, because it's not like you just wake up one fine day and decide you're going to be like this. It's something that's built up over time, and then the thing that happens is the more you suppress it and you're not willing to acknowledge it, you're like, you become this pressure cooker, right? And the smallest of thing will trigger you off. So that's what I was asking, is there something that causes all this to happen? Is there trigger?
I would want to check if my client is here. Kruti, are you there?
Kriti, are you here?
Yeah, she's there. Can we let her speak, because she could share?
All right. And people have also started writing in, and I will bring that up as well very quickly for you. Hearing from Kriti first. Hi, Kriti. I've sent you a request.
Hi, Neelu. Hi.
Hi.
So, I'd like to share a little bit about my journey and, how this has really helped me. I went through a very bad marriage, and, all my relationships, basically people would just come and, as Janki earlier mentioned, that people would just come and leave me. And my self-worth was very, very low. So, that's when we decided to work on it. When I worked on it, what happened is, when I was a child, I was always told that, you're not good for anything. You are too dark, you're not going to find anybody. Who's going to find? You need to look at yourself and stuff like that, which is why, anybody who came, and said, I would choose the wrong person. So there is a pattern, right? As we say, people may not believe it, but now when I look back, definitely this was a pattern, because, my first boyfriend, my second boyfriend, my husband, there was a pattern where I would get ill-treated and I would be left,
Right.
And my self-worth went down. When I did sessions, it came up that it's not my belief, I was constantly told that I'm not good. So, this impacted my self-worth, and that's why, whoever told me, I would just go for it. I worked around it, and, it's been a very long haul, I would say. Took me a lot of sessions, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. Finally, I'm in a place where it's work in progress. I wouldn't say I'm completely there, but yeah, definitely it's definitely made me a lot more aware. Now I know my patterns. I understand my patterns vis-a-vis earlier, so 5 years back, I would just randomly just say I'm feeling anxious. I don't know why. I'm just feeling anxious. I don't know why. I'd gone to a point where I went to psychiatrist and stuff like that, where I was told to be put on medicines, and I said I'm not going. That's when I met Janki. I did sessions, and now the difference is that I'm aware of what causes it. So whenever I'm in an anxious situation, I call up Janki and say, I know why I'm aware. I'm anxious. I know this is the cause. So I think the sessions have really helped me from where I was unaware, not knowing what is happening, not knowing why I was treated, to now where I'm aware. And now, I'm inviting a lot of people who make me happy, make me feel worthy, because I have started feeling worthy of myself. And now I've started attracting those people, who've come in my life and made my life beautiful.
Yeah. And this is thank you for sharing, Kruti. I always feel so happy when clients come up to share, and you know how otherwise it's always like, oh, who's going to come on camera and say things about their life? But I've always met people who want to share because their life has changed so much. They're like, I want to tell everyone, I want to be shouting from the rooftop. So thank you. But one of the things I remember very clearly from Kruti's sessions is where she would constantly say that, I've been told over and over, by my family members that you're not worth it, you're not worth it. So that, and Neelu, that's the answer to your question. You said, when does it become, when do we start feeling? It's that every day when little by little people keep chipping away our confidence by telling us, you're not enough, you're too dark, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're not smart enough, you're not so good looking, you just settle for whoever you get, tumhe kaun choose karega. So this little by little, or if you chase a career, your family won't respect you, or if you only are with your family and a housewife, your friends won't respect you. So constantly we are told so many things that are, yeah, we go from being a magnificent castle to a 2 BHK in need of repairs over a period of time because we've been made wrong. And here's one thing I would like to share. It's we've all been through this. It's not that some have and some have not, but the ones who didn't get so affected were the ones who possibly said, you know what, thank you for sharing, but I know what I'm worth. Right. And again, that is sometimes also only possible when you've seen an adult around you or a parent or someone around you who showed that confidence. But most of us have also grown up with parents who, were conditioned to believe the same things and are passing it on mindlessly, not realizing, not really trying to harm us or break our confidence, but they are so afraid of the world, which is where somewhere we need to be that person that breaks that generational, pattern and says, you know what, this stops here. And I had that. I remember in 2015, I was working and I was also pregnant with my second child at that time. And I had some fight with somebody in office who put me down. And one of my colleagues came and he said that I I don't know if this is the person you normally are, but I would like to ask you, is this what you want your children to also continue and do? And that hit me so hard. It was such a motivation for me to say, oh my God, like hell no, I don't want my children to be as messed up or feel as unworthy ki I can't ask for a raise, even though I know that I'm doing great work. I'm afraid people will, not will reject me and say, we don't want you, go away. And now I feel like I've come such a long way. And I'm like, you know what? I know what I'm worth. If you can't see it, that's absolutely fine. Maybe another store is for you. This is me, the Louis Vuitton store, and I'm choosing to be at this. You want it, yay. You don't want it, yay. It doesn't matter, right? So, but I've come a long way from being a person who was afraid, who I was always worried I would be called a fraud. Because from inside, I always felt unworthy, though from the outside, I was always very confident, very happy, speaking good English, looking presentable. But from inside, I was like this, like, when will somebody spot that I'm a fraud? And the more I made peace with all my flaws, I could say, it's okay. Yes, I'm not this. Yes, I'm not that. But I am what I am, and I'm okay with that. So I love taking people on those journeys because, I know how far I've come. I know how far my clients have come, and I can't wait to take more people out there.
And you should hear back from people who've experienced a few minutes with you right here on the call. Ritika says, I feel definitely better. I had tears in my recalling what all has happened over the years. Rupali says, it was a wonderful feeling. Rani says, I feel very insecure of losing my close ones, but after doing the meditation, I'm feeling very light and positive. Thank you very much. Archana says, I was very insecure for my future and over ambitious in my childhood. Felt good now. Thank you. Parul says, yes, it was beautiful, teary eyed, and started with an anger and aggressive feeling, but recalling has helped to learn how and from where it all started, feeling very light and good. And Grishma has written that I was 10 for people pleasing, and now I could totally integrate myself, and now I'm at 0.
Yay! I'm so proud of you. Thank you for
Being
sharing
bright
that.
and not scared to be myself anymore. It was very beautifully guided. Thank you so much. And she sent hugs for you, Janki, and on the
Oh,
side because of
big
you
hug,
to me
big hug,
also.
big hug.
And Parul says, agree, 100% agree with that little by little chipping. And Ritu, who had actually written in earlier that, when you walk away from a situation, people call you, they think you're proud, or, ghamandi is the word she used. I couldn't figure out. So pride is how I looked at translating it. And Ritu's written, but sometimes we try to prove others and ourselves we are not that what you are saying. Ritu, Janki, should we get Ritu on with you?
I would love to. I would absolutely love to.
Ritu, are you comfortable to come on video? Give me a yes on the group, or put your video on and give me a nod so that I know that. Anaga, I've been noticing you've been raising your hand. Are you on the group, Anaga? Because we're picking up all the questions from there. Ritu, are you, Ritu? Last call out to Ritu. If you'd like to come on, we'd love to. Janki would love to have a
I
quick
would
word with
love
you.
to
You're there. Put your
take
video
them.
on, Ritu, because I'm not being able to find you. Okay, found you. I've sent a request to unmute and also a request to start your video.
Hi.
You were able to see your, sorry.
Yes,
Hi,
I'm able to
Hi,
see you.
Ritu.
Hi,
Hi.
Go ahead.
It's so good to see you.
Go ahead,
Hi.
Janki, Ritu, all
Hi.
yours.
Hi. Sorry to be so, but like consistently, like after, after marriage, you feel those emotions when you're pampered at your own house, and when you come to your in-laws and you feel that you're not that respected or welcomed by those chipping words. So it does feel a lot.
Yeah.
And even
yeah.
if you do your best by doing so many things for them, and then they disregard you, that you're not worth it. So
Sometimes it's not
sorry
enough.
to
How much ever you do is not enough, and they
yeah.
just can't see it. And then because they're constantly putting you down, you start
Mm.
feeling shit about yourself too. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. And thank you for coming and sharing. So, and of course, I can totally imagine, because I've heard this from a lot of clients who go through, that constant thing. But one of the things that, or rather, let me ask you, um, what is your point of view about, since the time that you got married, right? What was your point of view ki shadi ke baad kya hoga?
Like, I would be serving everybody to my best, because I've seen my father do that to the best of my ability. But even though doing that, I don't know what is the thing that I have not done.
Okay.
It's
So when you saw your father serving, what was
mm,
your experience? Like, did he get appreciated? Was he taken for granted? Was it just a selfless,
yes,
thankless job?
yes, 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 yes,
What?
yes, yes. My father was not appreciated as well.
That's right. So what happens is, let me just explain. When you've seen something, like your father did so much for everyone and he was not appreciated, as a child, while watching, we just pick up and understand that this is what life is. I do. Nobody understands or appreciates me. And this is how life works. So always remember, and I want everybody to write this down, your point of view creates your reality. So if you have a pattern or a thought process in life that you can do everything you can, but I've never seen my father get appreciated. So when I go to my wherever I get married and go and I do, this is what it will be. So you've already come in with the thought that I will not be appreciated. Like, and subconsciously, this is not you consciously thinking. Subconsciously, you think this is what it is, and this is what it's going to be. So obviously, you start from that premise. Now, always remember, your point of view creates your reality. The model you have about how a certain thing works is how it will work for you, right? It's like how you write a program, no? A plus B equals C. So A plus B, my service plus in appreciation is going to land up to this. Now, here's the good part. In access consciousness, we do something called a clearing. So can I do a clearing for you?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what we say is, so everything that you learned by watching your father serve and never get appreciated, everything you understood, everything you took away subconsciously, and everywhere you got programmed in your own self, thinking this is how even my life will be. I will serve, I will never get appreciated. I will take it one step further, that, I will be put down instead. Everything you unconsciously created your life around with those childhood experiences can be now destroy and uncreate. All you have to do is say yes.
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pardon, for online shots, boys, provads, and beyonds. Now, what did I just do? I did a clearing. Now, what happens is, every time you find a repeating pattern in your life, it's because there is a program that is running constantly. Now, the rule of a program is until you change it, garbage in, garbage out. So until you change that program consciously, nothing can change. So when we do a clearing, we are saying, okay, whatever this program that has been running so far, I'm pressing delete on it. So now I've pressed the delete button. Now, what would you really like in your life? Think about that. Like, so when you do something the next time for your family, what is it that you want to experience from them?
At least, like, at least appreciate what I'm doing. Don't
Correct.
say that I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this.
Correct. मतलब appreciate ना करो, at least faults तो मत ढूंढो. Don't at least say हाँ इतना सिर्फ इतना किया इतना नहीं किया, right? So now let me ask you a question. How much do you acknowledge and appreciate what you do every day?
I acknowledge myself a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
Yes. You really wake up and say, wow,
Yes.
Ritu, I'm so proud of how much you've done today. You've made amazing
Yes,
food. You're looking lovely. Great. That's fantastic because, and this is to everybody, most people don't do what Ritu does. And I'm so proud of you, Ritu, for acknowledging yourself, because when you appreciate yourself, you're filling your own cup, right? And when your cup is full, when you've filled your cup enough, it hurts you little less when others don't. What they give you then is bonus, right? So for everyone else, if you are not doing it, please make a note and start. You appreciate your own efforts, what you're putting in. And that's the first step. Then we'll come to the second step about others. Now, what are the judgments that you have about your in-laws, let's say? What are the judgments? Like, how do you view them? Who are they as people? Are they kind? Are they unkind? What are the feelings and judgments you have about them?
The feelings and judgments. Like मुंह में राम बगल में छुरी.
Correct. Now, again, let me tell you, your point of view creates your reality, right? So if you think they say something, they mean something, they are like this, they are like this, what happens when you judge a person, especially a family member that you're living with constantly, when you have a judgment of them, you stop your receiving from them. So it's like you put a board up. No, thank you. मुझे आपसे कुछ नहीं चाहिए because I think you're a bad person. I'm just saying it. I don't think you're a nice person. So I don't want anything from you. अपने पास ही रखो. So subconsciously, the vibrations you're sending out to them are this. कि मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए. No, thank you. So when you're sending out that vibe, they are responding to that vibe. There is that, I think Newton's law, right? Everything has an equal and opposite reaction. So when you are saying, I don't like you, I don't want anything from you, अपने पास ही रखो, ये appreciation करेंगे भी by chance एक दिन, आपको register भी नहीं होगा, because you've decided not happening. यहाँ से कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला, right? So now what I want you to do is take a paper, and this you can do later, and this would be like a whole session, but take a paper, write down all the judgments you have about them. Okay? Once you write the judgments, say, okay, everything that I've judged you to be, right? And this is my mental model of you. This is clearly not working for me. So I'm willing to destroy and uncreate. Now, how do you destroy and uncreate? There's a very simple way. Of course, there is access way, Ho'oponopono way. I'll give you the simplest one, which is again part of my 5-second rule, right? Write this prayer. It's the Ho'oponopono prayer. Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian healing modality, which is very, very powerful and beautiful. The prayer is, I'm sorry.
I am sorry.
Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. And this is again for everyone. If there's a person that really triggers you, bothers you, is constantly, poking holes in your beautiful world, you say this prayer for yourself. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now, what is the meaning? Everywhere that I have chosen to be part of your life and I've let you be part of mine. Everywhere I every day put myself in front of you to get bashed again and again. Everywhere I'm not willing to end things. By the way, you only allow those things to continue that are fun for you or that are serving you in some way. So another question you'll have to ask yourself is, how is this serving me?
Yeah.
Why do I like being the victim?
Yeah, that's that craving of being victim as well all the time, isn't it?
And let me tell you, I had a client. She said she was a victim in very many cases. She said, if I'm not a victim, I will have nothing to share. I'll have nothing to get attention with. And then I said, wait, but you can get attention. Then we programmed her using the same way. We programmed her, you can get attention from the amazing things you do already every day. And you don't need to be a victim to get attention. And it blew her. And she said, awesome, right? So now she gets attention for her work. She's a photographer. She gets attention from all the celebrity shoots she does. And she gets good attention instead of the negative attention from victimhood. So again, another question, what am I getting out of this? Why do I allow this to continue? My question to you would be not why are they treating you badly every day? Why are you allowing it to happen every day? And I realized one thing, the day I wanted to, when people were treating me badly, it was very easy, but I was willing to lose that thing that I was getting from them in bargain, which was here in my case, negative attention, or in your case, it could be the same. If I was willing to lose the ability to get eyeballs through complaints, I was like, cool, what else is possible? So think for yourself right now for a moment. What will I lose if I put an end to this once and for all? Like, you cannot talk to me like this. If you don't want to appreciate me, don't, but don't discount what I'm doing. So if you had to go and tell them that point blank, what would you lose? Or what would happen?
My relationship with my husband would be at the stake. That
Right.
would be.
Right. Now, one of the things I realized.
1 minute. Yeah.
Yes.
For this, my daughter doesn't forgive me for this as well. My daughter is 21 years old. She has never forgiven me for this. She has been telling me that, why did you let this happen to you? You could have left this relation. But I don't know.
Okay. So let's just do this. Close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes. Now look at that younger you from 15, 20 years ago. The younger you who is newly married, in the middle of a new family, trying to fit in, trying to please everyone, trying to keep the husband happy, trying to keep the in-laws happy, not wanting to disturb or disrupt the harmony of the house. And that's the younger you. And as you see the younger you, bring up all that anger that you felt, like, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you put a stop to it at that time? And as you feel this anger coming up, just recognize, okay, I'm going to put this on hold on the side for 1 minute right now. And let me go and sit with the Ritu from 20, 25 years back. And just recognize that all she was trying to do is maintain the harmony. Keep the peace in the house. All she was trying to do is be a good daughter-in-law, be a good mother. You can't hate her for that. She was only trying to do her best even back then. I want you to go and just sit next to her, hold her hand, or put your arm around her, and just be present to her world. Recognize her struggles, her thought process, her challenges, and just tell her, hey, I know you were only doing your best. I know you didn't know any better back then. I know you did everything you could think of, and it's okay. I'm not angry with you anymore. I want to give you the love. I want to give you the appreciation. I want to give you the acceptance that you were craving from others. Allow her to be vulnerable. Allow her to, for once, feel seen, feel heard. And tell her, I'm sorry. I was so angry with you all the time. I was so angry and I was not accepting it, which is why my daughter had to come and say those words. But now I'm letting all of that go. I'm with you. I'm here for you. And tell her, it's okay if you couldn't speak up back then. I'm here for you now. I've got your back. You have me here with you. Together, we will slowly start changing everything. But I need you to be with me. I can't do this alone. I know it's tough. I know it might take a while, but I've got you. We'll do this together. When you and me are together, we can change our world. Now hold her hands, look into her eyes, and tell her, please forgive me. Please forgive me for all the times I judged you as weak. All the times I thought you were being a doormat and not speaking up, or I just want you to know I'm sorry and we're together in this now. Has she forgiven you? Has she? Yeah? Yeah, keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. And as she forgives you, I want you to give her a big hug. Take her in your arms, hold her tight. Hold her tight and tell her, let's do this together. I've got this. Yeah, maybe we don't have all the answers right now. Maybe we need to figure out a lot of things. But I know one thing for sure. We're going to change this. I'm going to be the choosing one now. I'm not waiting for anyone to do anything, to change anything. I'm going to change my world myself. I'm going to be the choosing one now. And as you do, as you feel that energy between the both of you shifting, visualize her merging into you. Feel, yes, feel that in your body. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in every cell, the new strength, the new trust that you feel in yourself, the new confidence. And say, thank you. I love you. to yourself. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. And with a deep breath, locking in this self-confidence, this self-compassion, this trust. Feel that in your body. Now it's locked into every cell in your body. Now, everywhere you go, everything you choose is going to be from this new program that you have in you. Feel that sense of, I'm worthy. I'm there for myself. I've got this. And with a smile, you can open your eyes and come back.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel light. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe the burden on my head.
Yeah. I could actually see your face change towards the end where, you felt a different energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like myself coming into me, that, okay, what is gone? What is done, it's done now. You can't change it, but you can change the future.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that stood out is when you said, my daughter hasn't forgiven me for this. And she keeps saying this, right? So what the thing that most people keep saying to us, and that one thing that hurts, is exactly what you are telling yourself internally. But because you're not willing to see it, we project it and make someone else say it. And that's why it used to hurt, but now it won't. Now it won't, because you've accepted your truth. You've seen that, okay, I was so mad at myself, but I had a reason to be mad also, and I had a reason to be that way in the past also, and it's okay. And now that you've integrated both, this is called shadow work also, where you project something and make your daughter be the bad one to you. And then once you make peace with yourself, there's a very strong chance she will feel differently about it now. Just notice that. She will not be so angry at you. Just keep your eyes and ears open. Like, don't go and maybe pick a conversation, but just notice when you change the way you feel about yourself inside, your interactions start also changing.
Yeah.
And you have a beautiful smile, by the way. You're looking a lot more at peace.
Yeah, that's what I have been told since, like, I have $1 million smile. I don't know
You
what.
do. You do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Amazing.
And
Thank
of
you so
course,
much
I
for
mean,
having me.
we could have gone deeper, but like I'm being mindful of the time here that
Yes,
this is a
yes, sure.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much, Ritu, for coming on. And I don't think I will ever tire of saying this across all calls. Whoever one of you, whichever one of you ever comes on, Ritu, today was you. It's not easy. It's not easy to show your vulnerability like this. And that in itself is such a big strength that you already have. Start. And today, Janki, what you just did with Ritu, everybody could see it. Everybody could see the shift. Forget it just happening with Ritu. I saw Asha respond like she was having a very emotion, and look, it's still there. And not just Asha, who I could see here, but people have written in on the group as well, Janki, that Parul writes, Janki, I also did the meditation with Ritu. It feels like something is rewiring in my head. I let out a deep breath, feeling rebooted. Kalpana says, great job, Janki. You're so beautiful. Mino said, ma'am, you look amazing and really don't look like the mother of a 21-year-old girl. That's for you, Ritu.
Ritu, yes.
Ritu, look the shift. Right, Janki? Like what?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hardly you've just gone off video and this beautiful compliment, two compliments. I just called you strong and Minu just called you beautiful. And Janki's been already complimenting you so much. Just see. Beautiful. And Kalpana also writes, more power to Ritu. And Parul says Ritu is Santur. That old
Yes,
ad. This is so
yes,
bad. Yeah, yeah.
yes.
And Janki, this is all thanks to you and the work that you do. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And normally you do spend way longer with the people who come into you, who need this help, who are looking for that change in life to find their own truth. But with Ritu, one person today, we've seen this happening. You also mentioned something, you also used the word shadow work while you were talking to Ritu. People, I just want to let you know that you have your bonus call with Janki tomorrow, where Janki will be talking about shadow work and will be taking you through more on this. However, we are not at end of call, because with the group work that happened, with just witnessing what just happened with Ritu, do you not want to know what's in store for you? Janki has lovingly put forward for you. We're ready for that. Before I go into that, Janki, is there is there anything that, you know, because I was just so delighted to see this entire interaction. I had to come in. Was there anything that you were wanting to say, and you know, or can we go into what you
Yeah,
have
I
to
just want to
say?
point out one thing from Ritu's interaction, which I loved, is when she said, I felt I came back to myself,
Right.
right? Something on those lines. And I've done that for myself. And I think it's one of the reasons I do what I do, is bringing people home to themselves. We're so disconnected. We've learned to judge and be so harsh on ourselves that, you know, we've shut the doors onto our own selves. And when you just open those doors and accept and love and forgive yourself, and you feel I've come home to myself, and it's just such a beautiful feeling, that's when we feel whole and complete. We're already whole and complete, but we can't see it because we're in these fragments which we've rejected and torn and thrown away every time somebody judged us or made us too much.
Right.
And this is what I want to take people through everywhere through my work, is just helping them, you know, recognize their own truth, come back to themselves, feel that peace from within. So yeah, thank you, Ritu. Thank you. I love you so much for coming up and being so vulnerable so that you could benefit. And through this conversation, everybody got to experience what you did too.
And didn't just witness it, but I think whoever actually, while you were talking to Ritu, if they were thinking about themselves and putting the words in, I'm 100% sure that something's happened there as well. And in fact, as you said, Janki, that, you know, I want to help get people home, just reminded me of the first call with Nidhu, because it's exactly what Nidhu had said, that and Nidhu actually does keep saying this, that with what she had brought on the table, was about returning home. And returning home is not just your physical address, it's returning home to you. And I don't know why, but I get this feeling that this is now going to remain the existing theme for the rest of the calls, is to return home. So Nidhu, you started it. Thank you. We can see it continue. Janki's work is around that as well. It is so lovely to have seen that. And people, you want to know what's in store for you. Trust me, you want to know. I'm going to quickly share my screen so that you can get to know what's in store for you.
Sure.
Give me a quick moment. I'm just going to refresh my screen right here. Hang on a moment. And in the middle of all this and getting all these beautiful insights. And by the way, Janki, correct me if I'm right here, that while you were talking to Ritu, you actually gave away a few 5-second pointers, right? Like write this and do that. There were things that you were mentioning.
There even in the yes, I did.
While yeah, right. So people, I hope you paid attention, and in case not, catch it on the replay. Right. Apart from that, there is a beautiful gift. Apart from all the gifts we've received from Janki today, with with an insight, with the meditation, uh, with feeling differently before we started the call till now. Janki has a beautiful 10 days self-love reminders for everybody. You will get it with your call replay. There's a small glimpse into it. And Janki, just let us know, how do we use this? Do we just read it, or?
Yeah. So yes, thank you, Neelu, for sharing this on screen. So these are little and actually these are things that I keep reminding myself. And I've got like these little reminders written, and I at some point realized like I'm going to share it with my clients and everybody I interact with. And these are actually things I started my work with almost 5 years back. And every day you just pick up one reminder. So like this is one, and you'll say, cool, remind yourself like how I see myself is how the world sees me. So if I love myself, the world loves me. Now, how to use this is in a moment where you catch someone judging you or you judging you, you say, stop. Literally, this is where you apply the 5 seconds and say, stop. Like, let me change it right now. It's okay. Like, if you're being critical, you say, it's okay. Doesn't matter. You say exactly what you would hope and wish your loved one to tell you, or your best friend to tell you, or your partner to tell you. So that same kindness you give to yourself. And each day has a different. Can you go to the second day?
Yes.
So yeah, so forget about your flaws and focus on your strengths today. So you could just start with like, okay, once you read the second reminder or the third reminder, take a note. Okay, what are my strengths? Cool, I'm going to function from this today. So it kind of sets the tone for your day. And then while we're sharing 10, there are actually many more, but these 10 reminders you can use over and over to set the tone for the day.
Nice, very nice. So people, first thing in the morning, as soon as you get up, all right, before your feet even touch the ground, this is what you need to do. Remember that. All right. And here we have it. Love and Happiness is coming your way with Janki, who is an international award-winning happiness and self-love coach. Beautiful offers are on the way for you, Janki. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. So yes, the package A, let me tell you, is a workshop. And this is a 4 hours workshop. So it's going to be where I want to introduce you all to a whole lot of topics. So I've spoken about a lot of things. I've spoken about shadow work, forgiveness, ho'oponopono. So what I've done is put together like a beginners, a self-love workshop where you can get started. It's going to be a 4 hours class. Where I will take you through some very important insights and topics that will help you understand how to get started on your self-love journey. And I always say this to all my clients with the sessions and work that we do, we are sowing little seeds of love. And those seeds, you have to nurture them and protect them and nurture them every day for a while for you to start seeing that little shoot come up, and it grow until at one point it's a big tree whose shade and fruits you can enjoy. So self-love is not an overnight journey, but in these 4 hours, what I want to is give you a few things to get started with, right? And of course, for people who are interested, we can continue with longer journeys, but this is your starting point for everything around giving yourself love. Now, of course, you will get the replays, which you can download. You will get a participation certificate, which is more like acknowledging, like, hey, I'm choosing myself. I'm becoming the choosing one. And you get started. You will also get some self-love declarations, affirmations, and everything to get you started. Now, one thing I would love to share about, and this is about all my work, it's going to be interactive. So I always keep 1/3 or at least 20-25% of the time for you to come up with what's bothering you, what you struggle with, what are the challenges you face. So it's not only that this is what I want to share, but apart from what I want to share, I want you to come up with, and this is how a workshop with me normally is, where you come up with questions, challenges, situations that you face, and we take those tools and apply them there and there to show you how it's practically done. And again, I repeat it, all my tools are things you can practice in just about 5 seconds. And on a daily basis, I expect only 5 to 10 minutes of introspection or self-work. And that is enough for you to, that's have, how you water your plants. It just takes a few minutes, but then it's sorted for the rest of the day. So quickly, what are the highlights of the workshop? It's reconnecting with yourself, forgiving, and doing inner child healing, understanding why we need self love. In fact, there's a book called, Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. I truly believe your relationships depend on how much you love yourself, how worthy you think you are, the kind of money you make in life, the kind of interactions you have, how people treat you, your health, your immunity, everything is dependent on self love, and research shows it. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the 5 pillars, how to actually express, show love, because self love is a very vague concept. It's a very big term, but there are 5 very nice things you can do to, build that intimacy with yourself, how to connect with your mind and body, build that nurturing relationship, and how to really be the one that you're waiting for. All our lives, I say we're waiting for somebody to love us, how to become that person for yourself. So this workshop is about that. Can we go to the next slide, Neelu? Yeah. Now, through this workshop, you will firstly know how to love yourself. Okay, how to start seeing you are worthy, and slowly, how that chipping away was done, which took your self-worth from here to here. Now you're going to slowly start adding and nurturing, so your self-love starts. And how to do that on a day-to-day basis, you're going to take away that. You're going to learn how to take back your power, how to clear blocks. Now, we all want a beautiful life. We want more money. We want a loving partner. We want to be loved and respected and appreciated. So here you will clear the blocks that make you feel the opposite, or that keep attracting the opposite pattern. How to stop getting triggered, and of course, have more inner peace. Now, triggers are one of the things I love working on, because they are the instant reflection of what you need to work on to neutralize it, so that you can have peace. So we're going to use a combination of shadow work and Ho'oponopono to clear this as well. And these are the benefits. If we go next. Okay, now you will also be getting this beautiful self-exploration workbook that I have designed. Again, there are a lot of questions here that will help you introspect. Now, one thing I want to tell you is, while this is a workbook which you can print and write in, each person is different. And when I do journaling, for me, I do a verbal journaling, right? So I ask myself a question and I record my answers. Some people like to write, some people like to videotape, some people like to audio. Depending on who you are, again, use this the way you need. But this is something that will be very useful to take your journey deeper within. And as a bonus, you will be getting a support group call where I will answer your questions. For 3 months, we will all stay together on the group, because 100 days is what it takes for you to completely internalize anything new. So I won't leave you after that one call. We will be together on the group, sharing questions, success stories, experiences, any aha moments, anything that you want to celebrate with the group. We'll be together. And of course, if anybody repeats the workshops with me, then there will be a 75% off, and you only have to pay 25%. So everything that you're getting is, the workbook, the Q&A, the 3-month support, all that is valued at 18,000 or almost 250 USD. But since we're doing this beautiful call, and I would love to just give this to you for 2,991. So the special price for this call, with a lot of love and gratitude. And, I really want to say thank you all for being here, for choosing this step towards being the chosen one, being the choosing one, and loving yourself. If you're making that one step towards you, I would love to put everything out there for you at this amazing price of under 3,000 rupees. So that's package A. If we could move on, the package B is a personal session. Now, personal session would be a 1-hour session where you and I can get on a private call and actually work through something that is bothering you. So I would recommend everybody take, of course, package A, because that's an overview on self-love, a whole lot of seeds. But if there is a specific issue that you want to work on, then take package, then take the personal session, because that gives you a chance to go very deep within and see what is that block, what is that pattern, what is that thing that's stopping you. So then you choose package A. Now, here's the fun part. Okay. If you choose a personal session, by default, you get the workshop free. Okay. So if you choose the personal session, you're going to get the workshop, which is a great thing. In this session, I not only do a healing for you, we not only reprogram you, I give you tools. So I always personally believe that I want to teach you how to be the source of your healing, your happiness, your love. So I make it a point to not make my clients dependent on me, but to slowly in each session give them the tools that they can use for the rest of their life in just about 5 seconds to shift, because life will keep throwing things at you. So in these tools, you're not only doing a healing and you're not only getting therapy, but you're also learning the tools you can use ahead, no matter what life throws at you. We can go ahead. Okay. So again, here you will get a complete healing. We can go deep, as deep as you're willing to go, and resolve the blocks from the core. So think of your issues as a tree. We're not functioning and addressing the roots, the fruits, the leaves, the branches. We're going deep down to the roots to fix it from the core. And once you fixed it from the core, the fruit that will grow from there is love and happiness, no matter what. Right? So we're going to, in these personal sessions, work on your roots individually, whatever it is for you. Okay. So here also, you will be getting the workbook. You will be getting support. And of course, and all my clients know this, they can reach out to me as and when on WhatsApp. A lot of clients, I encourage them to leave me voice notes if there is something going on for them, even after a session. And whenever I get a chance, I quickly drop them a voice note back with, a few questions, or making them aware of something and supporting them in their journey even ahead for a month or two, whatever's required. So these are the things that, I would like to share. Yes, this is what I have here. So these are posters that I make for my clients, and let me just show them to you also. So can you all see them?
Janki, actually, with a screen share.
Oh, okay. So no worries. So this is what it is.
Everybody, after we just close.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what, I will send you a happiness diary. It's a House of Happiness branded diary, and these 3 posters to work with as little reminders. And yes, you will get 1 month. So 31 self-love reminders, like those reminders which we are giving away free, the 10, you're going to get 31 if you sign up for this one-to-one session. Plus, as I said, WhatsApp support as and when required. And this package, which is otherwise valued at 35,000, I'm giving to you at a wonderful competitive price only of rupees 4,900. So, ta-da!
Yeah, very nice, absolutely amazing. And plus your diary and the reminders, and people just.
Neelu, I'm just going to need 1 moment. Can you just take that? I'm just coming.
Yeah, sure. And there is free shipping within India for locations outside India. In case you're in doubt, please do check in with the team. It will be on actuals. Let me give you a quick recap on package E and package B. Package E is where you have your self-love and happiness workshop. It's a 4-hour workshop on the 18th of March. It's all yours at only 2,991 rupees or $41. And you have package B, which is your personal session, a 1-hour personal session, and includes package A and all its bonuses. All of it is yours for just 4,900 rupees or $67. Does the story end here? No, it does not, because the story begins with you taking action for yourself. So people, if you want to be the choosing one, you choose self-love and happiness for yourself now. And with offers like this, your choice just got very easy for you. So don't go into any loop, any cycle, nothing. I mean, goodness, 2,991 or $41 and a session, and this combined at only 4,900 rupees or $67. And with package B, you're actually getting, show us the diary, Janki.
Sure. So I have diaries with different messages. This one says, nothing can dull my sparkle, born to shine. And it's like a House of Happiness diary. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So these are diaries I send my clients to do the work because I give them a lot of homework. I told you, 5-10 minutes a day, whether it's writing gratitude or writing about something on self-introspection. I share these diaries. I kind of send them a kit so that, they can capture their journey. Because one of the things I realized is we forget how far we've come.
Right.
So I met a friend from 5-6 years ago, and he looked at me and he said, you've completely changed. Like, what happened to you? And he said, when we used to sit next to me in class and you used to be all like timid and like not speak up. And I was like, what are you saying? I was the same person. And he was like, yeah, right. So we forget how far we've come. But, when you've captured your journey, when you see that, okay, I used to struggle with this and now I don't, because we tend to forget and, dismiss everything we've achieved so easily. This kind of helps you also recognize, slowly and slowly, steadily, this is where you're building your life. This is how far you've come. So you can celebrate yourself as well.
Right. Show us the course. Do you have the
Posters? Yeah. I have a poster. So these are the posters. The key to happiness is in your hands. Various other things.
And
So
nice to have them, in front of you or on your wall.
yeah. So I generally have clients stick it up on their desk or wherever they spend the most part of their day, so that every time, they need a reminder, this is right there in front of you. Because you know how we are, right? You need a bath every day. You need motivation every day. You need a push every day. You need to do a little bit every day to, get you on track.
Absolutely. And people had written in earlier also, Janki, Meenu had said, 200%, it is $1 million smile. You're an inspiration to young girls like us. Parul says, yes, indeed, returning home. Ritu wrote in, thank you so much, ma'am. You're doing such a wonderful job. You're a beautiful soul and beautiful yourself. And Nidhu also wrote in saying, absolutely, think it's a great theme. And Janki has done it and is doing it so well. And she's also written, and a totally gettable package as well. Package details are out, people. Okay. The links are there on the group. They're there on the Zoom chat. You will have it in your call replay email as well. We have taken a fair amount of time, but you know what? It is well. Stamp yourself worth it. Okay.
Yeah, and this is one thing I always tell my clients is, and sometimes people do tell me, right, why are your sessions so expensive? Like, why do you charge so much? Though not here. Here I've given a very special price because I really want more people to choose this and not make money a problem. But when they tell me, I ask them like, what is your happiness worth, right? Are you going to say 3, 5, or 10,000 bucks? I'm not going to spend this and fix my mindset or my inner world because it's too much money. But okay, what is the price you're paying if you're not fixing? Every day that you're being unhappy, every time that you're feeling unworthy, every time you're letting somebody walk over you and take advantage because you are like, no, but how can I say and no? What is that costing you? And why not? If not now, when? When will you choose it? When will you change? And I realized, because when I started choosing, I said, oh my God, this was so easy. Why didn't I do it earlier? And I didn't, because I simply didn't know there was a way to do it. I simply didn't know it was so easy. So now I'm like, just choose it. Be the choosing one, because life becomes so beautiful when you choose.
Janki, like I said, I know we've taken a fair amount of time. We are heading towards winding up. Just want to give everybody a quick reminder that you have your bonus call with Janki tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. IST, same time, same place on Zoom. More work is going to be happening, especially around shadow work and trigger points. And so much has happened on the call today. There's been a lot to take away, including things like taking responsibility for yourself, taking that decision to be responsible for your own life, for your own happiness. We heard wonderful things from Asha and Ravi and Kriti. Kriti, sorry. For a second, I was it Kriti or was it Kriti? And so much changed for them, so much moved for them. You witnessed that yourself with the group work that we did and with beautiful, strong Ritu coming on and putting herself out there for all of us to witness as well, the shifts that happened right here on the call. Janki, we're ready to say goodnight and goodbye. And I want to say thank you for an amazing call. Thank you for putting this forward to becoming the choosing one rather than wanting to stay the chosen one. So that is 100% the biggest takeaway from today's call. And yes, definitely that one secret you didn't know that you had to, that was more important than love, because when you choose to be the choosing one, love is going to fall into your lap. Any
Yes.
last words you want to say, Janki?
I just want to say thank you, Neelu, for helping me have this beautiful conversation, helping me put my work across. It's been such a pleasure talking to you. You've been so lovely. The audience has been so lovely, interactive, strong and vulnerable, coming and sharing. Thank you to all my clients who joined and shared their stories to inspire people to also choose this. And I had so much fun. I can't wait for tomorrow's call where I get to take people a little deeper onto this journey and really give them a taster of what else is possible.
Fantastic. And on that lovely, lovely note, peoples, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for constantly encouraging us to push the envelope and keep bringing things forward to you. Your beautiful office today, just at 2,991 rupees or $41 for the self-love and happiness workshop, and combined with a 1 hour session at only 4,900 rupees or $67. And on that very happy note, wishing you all a fabulous, fabulous evening ahead, weekend ahead. See you tomorrow again. Good night. Lots of love to everybody. Thank you, Janki.
Bye. See you.
Bye, everyone.